Yesterday, Tony had to put napkins in his nose because he went 90 minutes without being able to talk about professional Sunday football, and the takes were kind of coming out of him, but there was no room at the microphones, and I believe Lucy has needed the same kind of tissues today because she has a lot of college football opinions, and we covered this ground so thoroughly yesterday. But Lucy, you're one of our experts on the incredibly popular, not named Foot Girls, but Jessica yesterday slipped up and kind of said it was okay.
She speaks for her, not me.
To name it Foot Girls. She slipped on it, but we took that as consent, and we want to call it Foot Girls. Lucy doesn't want it Foot Girls, but Lucy and Jessica are doing one of the best college football podcasts that are out there, and I do want your expertise here to explain to me everything you saw, what was funniest as you've consumed all of the jokes on social media. Lay out for us what's the best stuff from everything that you saw in the chaos of Sunday.
Oof, that is a tough ask, but I think the funniest part is the collective agreement that, man, this had to be really wrong for us to all feel bad for Florida State. Yeah. That is the team that we are, oh my God, that is the team we are sympathizing with. There's a foot in my face for the audio listeners.
All right, listen, let's do it this way. Lucy, we will support your analysis, and you can go for as long as you like talking about college football. All of us will simply support you and let's make this light, not too loud so that the audience can hear what she's doing. We will support you with the soundtrack to this, okay? But your analysis, don't get distracted. Don't let us distract you. Are you ready?
All right, this is my moment.
All right. Foot.
All right, so my biggest takeaway from this is that I don't think it really mattered that Alabama beat Georgia. I think regardless, Florida State was going to get left out. When they dropped Florida State to 5 2 weeks ago after Jordan Travis got hurt, they made that decision that they were going to cut Florida State out. And I actually don't think it's because Jordan Travis got hurt. I think it's because the ACC is bad, and they're punishing Florida State for being in the ACC, and I think this is going to be the death of it. Like, this is going to be the nail in the coffin that ends that conference. This whole thing was all going to happen. They were always going to leave Florida State out. That was always the plan. And I feel bad for them. I feel really rough. And people are coming out and saying it's TCU's fault. It's not TCU's fault. If people are coming out and saying it's because of the injury, it's really not 100% because of the injury. This was all a master plan to get us to like the 12-team playoff, even though I think that's a bad idea as well.
Oh, so close.
Oh, so close.
You had it. It's okay. We'll do it again.
This is really close to my mouth.
We'll do it
again. I really
again.
don't like it. It is really close to my mouth.
Why did the committee put FSU 4 before that if they were going to do this?
I have no idea. The committee really hurt themselves by putting Alabama at 8 when I think they always knew whoever won that game between Georgia and Alabama, they were going to put in. They honestly should have put Alabama up earlier, but there was no real way to do it. You couldn't put them above Texas. They have a head-to-head loss to Texas. Oregon, Washington, it would have been weird to drop them for no reason. Like, it was just a weird situation where they screwed themselves over with the rankings. But let me tell you now, they were never going to let Florida State in. That was always the plan. Like, if Georgia had won, Georgia would have made it. Agreed? Florida State still wouldn't have been there.
Are you in agreement with Stephen A. Smith that everything else is totally the same, but Deion Sanders is the coach of FSU because they gave him the job instead of Norvell? Yes or no?
Say that one more time.
Arch, flat.
Stephen A. Smith had the best take of any of the takes when he argued that if FSU, all the things were the same, but Deion Sanders was their coach, they'd be in.
Yes. Well, the problem with that is Stephen A. put that right next to the dumbest take of all time, which is that it was because TCU got blown out by Georgia, even though they won the semifinal game against Michigan. So it kind of negated it for me a little, but that is true. But it was this weird thing that I saw yesterday of people being like, Florida State's not there because of TV ratings. Florida State is a team people tune into. That doesn't really make sense to me, but I do believe, I agree with him 100%. If Deion were the head coach, absolutely they would have made it.
Ankle. Toes. The optics of this are troubling to me.
Mm-hmm.
Chris
Cody,
I
didn't enjoy that.
I am going.
Not as much as I thought I would, anyways.
Chris Cody, I am going to, at some point during the show, I am going to unveil what would have been my top 4.
Well, it's about time.
Yeah, I mean, we asked yesterday. You gave us Washington, so you're going to give us the other 3?
Feels like he has 10 teams in there.
Well, it's
He's
fine.
got to have full drama. He's got to show us a 6. You need to know how things really were shaken out.
Top 6.
Start at 6, yeah.
The advantage that our show has over all other pods in the market is time spent listening, time spent watching. I've got to drag it out. I prefer I prefer to
TSW.
do it at the end of the week, but I've been forced by this situation to do it today because you can only tease the audience so much.